Hello and welcome back to another episode of Home Bar Basics. We're on episode 3. 3 was going to be ice. Well, 2 was going to be ice, and then 3 was going to be ice. Episode 4 though, we're going to deep dive so far into ice that we will, I don't know, sink the Titanic. This is, pardon the pun, just the tip of the iceberg. But episode 3, as you may have guessed, is glassware. Probably the one aspect of bartending when you first get into it, and I mean right at the very beginning. You've got a few bottles, you've got some bitters, you've got some equipment, you've got your first shaker. You probably, if you're anything like me, neglect the glassware a tad. And then you wake up one day, I don't know what happens, but a switch is flipped. Glassware just becomes amazing. So, as part of the Home Bar Basics, I want to make sure you've got the glassware ready to serve those drinks, so you're not panicking about silly things like, have you got a glass big enough for an old-fashioned or something nice and neat for a clover club? We don't want any of those problems. In this video, I'll be going over 3 types of glass that I feel are essential for the home bar, as well as 3, 4, or maybe 5 alternative styles of glassware that you may need. And if you've got the money and you fancy splashing the cash on glass, not easy for me to say after a few Negronis, then I'll be going through a few alternatives as well. Any guesses on what the top 3 pieces of glassware are going to be? Let me pack all this away and let me grab the glasses that we're going to be talking about today. This tiki mug is going to get a special mention right now at the start of the video. This is something you may have seen on Speak Easier a while back, towards the end of last year. This glass from Black Lagoon Designs is absolutely stunning. A hand-painted tiki mug in a pin-up style. It's a gorgeous glass. And hopefully I see some more of these on the page in the year, because they are truly sublime. And I'll pop a link in the description to her Instagram page and the Black Lagoon Designs, because they are phenomenal. The first glass that I'm going to be talking about today is quite a wide category. To many, you'll see this and think that is a cute Nick and Nora glass, and you will be right. This is what bartenders in the world know as a Nick and Nora glass. Small volume, stemmed glass, and I love glassware that's got incredibly thin walls. You can find glass like this around, and I'm not affiliated by any glassware brand, but if you know me, you know I do enjoy using nude glass. So that one and a few of the others are made by Nude Glass. However, if you want to push the boat out a little bit more, you can't beat Richard Brendan, a really high-class studio that produces phenomenal glassware that I think is a step above the Nude glassware. Until Nude pay me, in which case Nude are the best, but right now I'll just be honest. The Nick and Nora and any stemmed glassware is an essential part of the home bar, and it's why I've got to include this as a very large category. I like Nick and Nora's just because they are dainty and cute. You could also go for a coupe, you could also go for a martini glass. Whichever way you go round, you need a stemmed glass. There's a few reasons for this. Stirred drinks like the martini, obviously, and some sours like a Clover Club, for example, a whiskey sour. A lot of these are served really elegantly up in a coupe, a martini, a Nick and Nora margarita. These glasses offer a place to hold the drink without putting your hands on the glass itself and warming the cocktail. These are really good for keeping drinks cold longer without the addition of ice. Obviously, if you're serving a drink up, don't put ice in it. There was a big trend a few years back about people putting big rocks of ice in coupes, and I don't like rocks served up. I think it's outrageous, to be honest with you. So we could do without that. The coupe, the Nick and Nora, the martini, it's an elegant class of glassware, and it's something I feel you just need to have. Drinks that you might put in this, well, there'll be a plethora, I'm sure. When my editor absolutely smashes it and finds videos off of my Instagram, there may be a Naked and Famous served up, there may be a Vow of Silence, one of my drinks, a porn star martini, an espresso martini of course, dry martini, dirty martini, many different drinks served up. And based on the bottles we had in last episode, you can serve so many wonderful drinks in these glasses. For a starting bartender, In the home scenario, the Nick and Nora may be a little bit overkill. You might find yourself doing a little bit better with a slightly higher volume coupe. Richard Brendan do some stun ones, but you can get a wide plethora of stemmed glassware with good enough volume in them. I like this because it's a really small volume. It must only be 6 ounces. So when you shake a 4-ounce cocktail with a bit of dilution, the wash line is pretty much at the top. Wash line, by the way, is just where your drink comes up to on the glass. Instagram, and I am one of the perpetrators of this, seems to like drinks that come right to the top. A little bit like how you drink your neighbour in Amsterdam, where you'd have to lean down to have a drink. That really shouldn't be the case. It looks great on photos, but let's be honest, you don't want to be having to sip the top of the glass just to carry it back to your seat. Yeah, so maybe a slightly higher volume coupe, not like this, but maybe the ones rumoured to be modelled after Marie Antoinette's breasts, could be good for making sure that wash line isn't too close to the rim of the glass. Great option for your sours, for some stirred drinks, for some classic drinks, the espresso martini, porn star martini, Clover Club, even just a bog standard martini. And if you want to serve a Negroni up, who am I to judge? Really good option. Rim the glass if you want, but only do half to give the guest an option of whether to have the rim or not. But yeah, fantastic option, and definitely something any home bar should have. So maybe, just maybe, you like your sours, but you don't like the strength of the cocktail. What you're after is a Tom Collins. What you need them there for is a Collins glass or a highball glass. There is a slight difference in the volume or narrowness or height. There's definitely a difference. I don't know it. And as this is about a basic series, it's not something we need to research and push. One thing I want to really try and push and promote in this series and everything that we do here is that there's a lot of unnecessary gatekeeping in the bartending community. It can be very cliquey. People want to keep ideas to themselves and just be if you want to call it a Collins, call it a Collins. If someone says, actually it's a highball, swivel. You don't need them people. All you need to know is that you can fill this with ice, pour your drink over, top it with a bit of soda, a bit of tonic, whatever you may feel, and you're going to have a really tasty, refreshing longer serve. All home bartenders, home bars, whatever it may be, will need a glass like this. You can even fill these with crushed ice to serve a tiki drink in. You can pop a zombie in here at a push. You could pop some of your slings, your swizzles, a Queen's Park swizzle I've served before, in a highball just like this. I love drinks that are served up, but this gives you more options personally. And at a push, if that breaks, you can still put whatever cocktail in here without no ice and neck it. You can't do it vice versa. If you're wanting a Cuba Libre, it's not going in there, is it? But it will go in there. If you're wanting a Ramos Gin Fizz, good luck. This is a must-have, without a shadow of a doubt, in your home bar. Do you need to get a thin-walled nude glass, or Richard Brendan, or the brands may be available? No, obviously not. Go to your local shop, Home and Bargain, B&M, The Range, or the American alternatives, and just pick something up. As long as you can pop ice in it, as long as you can pop your cocktail in, you're going to have a nice chilled beverage that you can enjoy all through summer, and it's going to be delightful. On to the final of the really essential pieces of glassware. Any guesses? I think it's quite obvious. There's one we are missing out. Think Negronis, think old fashions, think Boulevardiers if you're not serving them all. Think Mai Tais, potentially. Think a margarita if you're not serving them all. It can only be one, can't it? We're going for a double rocks or an old-fashioned glass. I know it seems like I am quite an exhibitionist today because everything is nude. It just happens to be the glassware I've got on hand. And when it comes to a rocks glass, a double old-fashioned glass, a low ball, whatever you want to call it, it's the one I would say, honestly, the thickness/thinness of the wall on the glass really does make a difference. So much so, I would actually say for the home bartender, try and treat yourself to a thin-walled glass. Out of any glass here, I just think it adds a bit more to it for some reason. When you're drinking a marg over the ice, when you're drinking a nice Negroni with your peel in, something about those serves, when they're made classier and made well, ties itself so well to a thin-walled rocks glass, an essential piece for any cocktail starter. With these 3 glasses, you've got everything you could want. This is your Mo Salah, your Sadio Mane, and dropping deep, your Bobby Firmino. This is the front 3 of your dreams or your opponent's nightmares. Whether you're serving a Ramos Gin Fizz, even a simple gin and tonic. Whether you've got a lovely Tokyo iced tea, don't do that. Whether you've got your maple old fashioned or your Marg over rocks, whether you've got your Clover Club or your espresso martini, if this is the only thing you pick up from this video, that's it. You can switch off now, you've got one of each. I'd get 2 or 3 because accidents do happen. But if you're feeling slightly adventurous, and as I said earlier, you've got that cash to splash on glass, I'm going to tell you about a few alternatives that personally I don't think I can live without. So let's put the preferred front 3 to one side and let's give a bit of screen time to the super subs. These are the Divock Origis coming off the bench to make an impact. And God, do they make an impact. Alternative serve numero uno. We've got the wine glass, a nice big bulbous glass here with a nice beveled edge, whatever it may be, rim. There's definitely a name for that, it's escaped me. But this glass is great for your spritzers, your Aperol spritzers, your really Italian like Como-y style drinks. You can even serve wine in it, you can have a sangria. Many great options from a wine glass. I know this is a cocktail page. Can I just shock you? I like wine, the wine glass. Don't underestimate them. A fantastic part of any arsenal that you may have. Realistically, if you're in the UK and you're getting into cocktails, the likelihood is you're already a little bit of a pisshead and you're probably going to have a couple of these lying about. If you don't have a wine glass, definitely get one once you've got these 3. And another glass that I think is essential, or just a bit of fun at the very least, is coming right up. I've got a bit carried away and I've grabbed 4 options for the next alternative. I've made a pretty nice back 4. We've got 2 overlapping fullbacks providing an incredible amount of assists. Andy Robbo and Trent Alexander-Arnold for short. And then in the middle, a couple of imposing figures. We've got Virgil van Dijk and we've got Joel Matip. But you only need one of these, and obviously you're going to pick the generational talent. But if you're into your tiki drinks, you will need one of these. Don't get me wrong, as I said before, the highball and the rocks glass will do well for like a satin or a Mai Tai in terms of the rocks. And the highball, you can save your swizzles and a zombie and a push. But it really is fun to serve a drink in a proper tiki mug. They work great, and one of the reasons is they hide the sometimes brownish colour that tiki likes to go, and it makes the unappealing serve all of a sudden look very fun. I love tiki mugs. Again, at some point you'll get into them. It just happens. It's a coming of age story for anyone in the bar industry. You may grow out of it, or you may end up opening a tiki bar 50-50. If you like the colour of dishwater in your drinks, you may prefer to get some hurricane glasses, which means you can see in full effect the absolute disaster that you're putting into your body. And when I say disaster, I mean some of the tastiest cocktails that the world has ever seen. I love tiki. Tiki is really my vibe and my jam. Rum is my favourite base spirit besides the mad ones. So yeah, you've got to pick one of these. I'm going to go with Old Reliable. A great alternative choice. Pop these away and I'll find something else to talk about. To round off what is a probably quick video today is a third alternative. I could go on about glassware forever, but I've got to learn to stop somewhere. And here is a brilliant footed glass that I just love. Whether you're serving hot toddies, whether you're serving Irish coffees and other drinks that rhyme with toffee, this is a perfect glass. I love these because high in volume for one, and 2, your hands are protected. You're not going to hurt yourself when you're drinking your Irish coffees or hot toddies. Even a spiced, like spiked cider, warm cider, is delicious. And this is the perfect Christmas market winter glass. You can even get them with a nice handle on them as well. I am an adult and can hold a glass properly without needing a handle. So if you need a handle, by all means, grab a handle. You can end on these 3 and you will be in a world of heaven when it comes to glassware. What a beautiful episode this was. Talking about something that is so dear to me because it carries these fantastic liquids that I consume on a biannual basis. This was a fantastic video, in my opinion, and something that I wish I'd have known before I bought some of the crazy glassware that I bought when I was starting out a long time ago now. I hope you've enjoyed. Next episode is a beauty. Next episode we're talking about the one thing that every cocktail needs, besides hot toddies and warm serves. Ice. Ice is an essential part of every cold serve, and I can't wait to make that video. We've got so many mad ideas planned for it. It's going to be phenomenal. Episode 4 of Home Bar Basics, jot it down, is going to be ice. Mark my words. But until ice, it's time for me to bounce. It's been a pleasure filming this today. And as always, if you like the video, you can always subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and I'm sure you'll get notified when the next episode of Home Bar Basic comes out. If you want to see more content from me, some like this, some not like this, you can head over to Speakeasy UK on Instagram, where I'll be posting daily or twice daily, and also to Bohemian Mixology on Instagram too, where I'll be posting daily serves of unique base cocktails. We're having a lot of fun at the minute. I need to get back to filming some extraordinary, weird and wonderful drinks. So until next time, it's been a pleasure. Cheers.